Hello guys and welcome to Steve Knows. We've got some pretty awesome virtual reality news stories today and I cannot wait to share them with you. And guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest and greatest news. We also have an Oculus Quest giveaway down below in the description. I also have a sponsor for this video because you may know if you're on this channel, I'm trying to have a wedding and try and get a home so I can start a family. So thank you to the sponsor. This is also a product that I use myself. You may have seen it in many videos that I've done because it is something that I actually use and it's something for the Oculus Quest, so it all works out. So before we get started, a word from our sponsor and then let's get started on the virtual reality news.
This is the certified party link USB-C 3.0 cable for the Oculus Quest.
It enables the Oculus Link so you can charge whilst playing the best PC VR titles on your Quest system. This is just the fraction of the cost of the official cable and it works brilliantly. It's actually the cable I've been using myself since day one and UploadVR recommended it too. It comes as a 10-foot option or a 16-foot option. With the 10-foot you do get a converter as well for those that don't have a USB-C port on their computers. Links in the description if you're interested in this cable. It also comes with a money-back guarantee. So let's start off with the Oculus Quest having mixed reality. We've all seen LIV if you haven't checked it out, or if you don't know, it's where you see streamers or gamers playing virtual reality titles, but in a way where it puts them inside of the game, and you as a viewer, it's much better to watch than just having that first person perspective. You've got the best seat in the house, and I really love this way of filming and watching the gameplay because you see the embodiment of the user, of the person playing the game, and it's a nice change from that square in the corner. Well, the Oculus Quest has just got a beta for the mixed reality setup, so you can use your Oculus Quest and make some amazing gameplay videos for the community. And a great thing about this also is that it works wirelessly. All you're going to have to do is require an application which you can get off their Discord channel, which I'll put a link for down below in the description for you to grab, but the instructions are kind of crazy to follow. And a green screen, of course. You'll need a green screen and a webcam in order for this to work. You may also, if you don't have a webcam, use the Xbox Connect or the Azure Connect. And for some additional accessibility, you can use an Apple device from the year 2018 or newer because they have an iOS LIV app, which is a pretty sweet option if you don't have any of that technology. And if you're using the iOS app or the Connect, you don't need a green screen. It has a virtual green screen application where it will pick up who's in the shot and just remove the background. Obviously, it's not as good as using a green screen, but it's great for someone who doesn't have that tech, and it means that anybody, if you've got an Apple device or a Kinect, can make use of this tech, and I think that's pretty sweet. The currently supported games for the Oculus Quest is Beat Saber, of course. There is King Spray Graffiti, Hyperdash, O-Shape, Real VR Fishing, and Super Hot, which is obviously a great one. I will do a dedicated video on how to set this up for you guys using a webcam and a green screen and the virtual one because it is kind of a crazy setup, or at least following the instructions on the Discord is. So as soon as that's done, I will let you know. And a feature that I'm hoping they're going to add down the line is the avatar, where instead of where it's myself in game, you can put your own custom avatar there instead. You may have seen people such as Thrill using this feature, and I think it looks amazing. It's a great idea, and I can't wait. Another piece of mixed reality tech now where you can put your own body into the virtual reality world. There's more mixed reality madness from Varjo this time. It's a Finnish tech company, and they've started to develop an interesting piece of software, which you may remember from the crazy, insane, high-resolution headset that they created that we've spoken about this company before. They are now putting a user inside of a virtual reality game where previously LIV Mixed Reality was allowing a spectator to see someone in the game. Varjo are doing something that allows the user to put themselves or other people into the virtual reality world. They're using chroma keying and real-time processing, and with this they are able to put users inside a virtual reality application. Instead of just virtual arms and hands, you can see your actual arms and hands in game. Although currently these hands in game don't provide any functionality, you can't use them, you can just visually see them in the title, which is still much more immersive. It might be great for the enterprise. In the example that Varjo have put up, you can see Google Earth around you, and then as soon as you turn around, you're back in the office. So when you turn back around again on the green screen, you're back in virtual reality, and this has some pretty interesting applications, I'm sure. This is available for free for existing Varjo customers as well after a client requested this. This wasn't something Varjo come up with themselves. What a genius client request. You can overlay real existing objects and replace them in the virtual world, which I think is pretty interesting. interesting. So if you want this, just shed out 10 grand for the headset and you can enjoy. Maybe not. This one, I am a retro lover, so this is a retro game revitalized for virtual reality. For my oldies, this is Panzer Dragoon, and I had this on my Sega as a kid, and it's being revitalized in the virtual reality world. This game is a rarity, and I'm excited to hear this news. It's a game where you control a dragon, and you shoot down oncoming enemies. A simple game, but in its day, this was the The original title is a third-person experience, but with this VR version that's being revitalized, this is going to be a first-person experience, and it's going to enable motion controls as well to make it a fully-fledged virtual reality game. And an interesting time to come as well. It seems Sega are just licensing this game out to everyone, because Nintendo have just announced that they're going to be remastering 2 of the games that were out back in the day. It's expected to release in March 2021, and I hope to see some gameplay soon before the end of the year, because it's a year away. That's long, I'm probably going to forget about it, but I want to see some gameplay to whet my appetite. The big story now, this is the Quest's graphical power improvement. This is an interesting one and a nerdy one. Apparently researchers at Facebook have found a way to get 67% better performance from the GPU power on the Oculus Quest through the use of machine learning. Facebook have stated this is research only, but what this does, it provides us insight of what they can potentially do in the next generation of headset, and when 5G is enabled, and we can potentially use power of the cloud for offboarding some processing as well. Because when we see the next generation of standalone headsets, increased power and visual fidelity is a must. We already want it now. So this is the technique that Facebook have discovered, and what they do is when they're running the headset, they're actually running the game at a lower resolution at the center of the screen where your vision is normally looking, and they upscale this based on a machine learning algorithm. This kind of tech already exists in many videos that I've seen around the internet boasting about turning old pixelated images into smooth, buttery pictures. So this algorithm is increasing the resolution, or at least giving the illusion that it is, and they're using something called spatiotemporal super resolution, which is space and time. Then you may have heard of Google's method, where they're using their phone to film, and all the slight movements that your hand does gives a different shot in space and time, and they use that to create a more high fidelity image. So in order to achieve this, there's probably more strain on the CPU as it has to run that algorithm and process that imagery, but it does reduce the load on the GPU, freeing up resources for developers to make use of and give us beautiful, beautiful games. An obvious issue with this is obviously latency, because they're going to have to process images after the fact, but it seems they've got the latency down to milliseconds, so it's maybe even unnoticeable when you're actually playing a virtual reality game. And they've done this with the use of a rendering pipeline, and it's just genius. If you want a nerd out, the article's down below and you can try and check out the white paper, although you do have to pay for it. In the footage that they've shown, we have Beat Saber running at half the resolution against the standard full resolution, and it looks great. Can you guess which one is running at the lower res? This one. They haven't given away too much on the topic, although it did send me down a rabbit hole reading all sorts of crazy maths equations and white papers, and you can't read Facebook's paper without actually paying some stupid money. So if you're watching this and you know anything about this topic, please let me know. Give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. So the point is, anyway, the summary is that Facebook have come up with a way to reduce the latency via a rendering pipeline, and they also reduce the image at the center of the screen and use an algorithm to increase that resolution, or the illusion of that resolution, which reduces the load on the GPU, providing developers with extra resources. Some techie madness. So it looks like Valve are making bank. This needs to be mentioned because the Valve Index went on sale on Monday after a long period of when it wasn't available, and people wanted it because of Half-Life Alyx, and that was probably your last chance to get an index before the game is actually out, because now the wait time is 8 weeks on their website. And after seeing all the footage of Half-Life Alyx, it's just, even I want one. It seems like the best way to play the game. I'd also like to mention, if you're thinking about going to a scalper to buy the index, please don't. Please wait, because then you're letting them win and you're paying nearly double the price for the Valve Index. You may be better off just buying a Rift S temporarily to play the title and then buy the Index when it's available. These headsets have sold like hotcakes. If you think there's $1,000 for the full kit, and they've sold 103,000 units since announcing Half-Life Alyx, that's $103 million bills. Wow, wow, Wow. And it's definitely VR season with all this virus self-quarantining going on. It's the best time to play VR. Let's just escape the madness of this world. Now let's talk about Vive discontinuing some headsets. Bye to the Vive Focus and the Vive Pro. They are no more, which really surprises me. And it's a nasty move by them, as recently, during Black Friday sales and leading up to this point, they've been really promoting offers on this headset. Then shortly after, they announced a new line of goodies and that they're going to be discontinuing the old headsets, which I think is madness, because if you're going to pay £1,000 for the Vive headset, you may as well buy the Valve Index, especially when Valve are actually using old technology from the first generation anyway on their new line of headsets. And I know this is expected behavior from a business, we've seen it time and time again. I'm just ranting now, feeling a bit agitated for the people that have potentially taken that small risk about purchasing a Vive headset. But that's not to say that you can't still enjoy the old headset with the content that's available now and will soon be available, but it does mean that their focus, excuse the pun, is not going to be on ensuring compatibility with these headsets that you've already got. So down the line, if there's an issue or if there's a game that's just not running well, they're not going to fix it. It's not going to be fixed unless the developer does something about it themselves and supports the community that still owns this device. I'm not really surprised to hear that the Focus is being discontinued though, as they do have the Focus Plus, which they're pushing for Enterprise anyway, which is a much better option due to the new features that it has. They stated that they wanted to simplify their ecosystem, so the Vive Pro I is now for Enterprise, the Focus Plus is a standalone headset for Enterprise, and now we've got the Cosmos line with the 3 new headsets and the XR hopefully coming soon as well. So overall though, I do think you'll be fine owning one of these headsets, but I would definitely consider, if you're thinking about purchasing a headset, which one you're going to buy. So that's it from me today, guys. Thanks for watching Steve Knows. Thank you to my patrons, you are absolute legends. Join the giveaway, subscribe for next time. Happy gaming, guys. Good day.